Your Minnesota Vikings should be fine after trading Za'Darius Smith to the Cleveland Browns. They should be fine on the edge as they still have Danielle Hunter, Marcus Davenport, Patrick Jones II, Andre Carter, the UDFA, DJ Wanham in a contract year, Luigi Villain, etc. But you can never have enough dudes who can get to the quarterback. So here are 5 edge rushers for the Vikings in free agency. Now, specifically, stand-up rush outside linebackers, guys that are going to mesh with what Flores has done traditionally in his scheme. So, no Clowney. Also, I've never been the largest Clowney fan, but it is what it is. So we're going to go through. Some of these guys are going to be a little bit expensive, but the Vikings have freed up cap space. Some of these guys are going to be low risk, high reward, or medium reward dart throw. So let's go. Number 1. Leonard Floyd. So this one would be my numero uno choice. I think that Floyd and knocking on all the wood, keep Danielle as well as Marcus Davenport would be a nice triumvirate of pass rushers. Also sprinkle in a little PJ too. But the former number 9 overall pick in 2016 by the Bears, who obviously didn't use him properly, blew up the last 3 years with the Rams, as well as won the Super Bowl with Kevin O'Connell in 2021. So KOC would have the down low on Floyd in the locker room. But Floyd is age 30, but last year 9 sacks, 54 pressures. Is going to be a little bit spendy. Spot Rack estimated his average per season at $13.7 million, but at this stage of the game, when teams have spent the majority of their salary cap as well as their edge rusher depth charts are defined, this could make sense. Although there is some steam that Floyd could return to the Rams at a reduced rate. Who really knows at this point? Next up, number 2, free agent edge rusher for the Vikings, Yannick the Freak Ngakoue. Now, I know what you're saying. Back for the first time. So Yannick is 28, and he is the reigning, defending Vikings 2020 sack leader. Because remember, Danielle Hunter had the herniated disc in his neck, and then Spielman traded for Yannick, and then didn't quite work out in 2020, and then they traded Yannick at the trade deadline to the Ravens. But whatever, he's had a bit of a transient existence during his career. 19.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons with the Raiders and the Colts. Can still get it. Can still absolutely get after the quarterback, as well as I think that his skill set, especially his experience with stand-up, would be a better fit with the Flores defense than it was with the Zimmer defense, even though obviously he still got his over a small period of time in 2020. Next up, edge rusher number 3 for the Vikings, Derek Tutska, former Charger, 26 years young. Now, this is more of a, hey, I like this guy in the draft, and it hasn't worked out in the various spots that he's been at, but he was a stud edge rusher at NDSU. He came in as a 7th-round pick in 2020. He's bounced around from the Broncos, the Steelers, the Tennessee Titans, as well as the Chargers. 2 career sacks, and he would be a guy where you wouldn't bank on him coming in right away, but just adding him as depth with a league minimum, nothing guaranteed sort of deal, and just tossing him on the depth chart and see what happens there would make some sense. Next up, free agent edge rusher number 4 for the Vikings, Melvin Ingram. Yes, the pride of South Carolina, still doing the damn thing. 34 years young. Last year played with the Dolphins. Did not have any crossover with Flores, but 33 pressures, 6 sacks with Miami last season. Cheap veteran, has a ton of experience with the type of defense that the Vikings are in, and back in the day, him with the Chargers and whatnot. I mean, Ingram, he was just a guy. He was just a dude who could still get to the quarterback, and that's what's important at this stage of the game. So there you go. Lastly, free agent edge rusher number 5 for the Vikings, Marcus Golden of the Cardinals. So Golden's super interesting, where he bloomed in Arizona. He's 32 years young, 46 pressures and 2.5 sacks in 2022, so had a down season. But he had 11 sacks in 2021, which really put him on the map. But he's vacillated from Arizona to New York, etc. TBD, what's going to happen with the new regime in Arizona? Ossenfort, did not draft Marcus Golden, did not sign Marcus Golden, so we'll see what happens there. But the fact that he's just hanging out there, and even at 32, could still have some significantly good football left in him. That's something to keep in mind. But overall, I would go after Leonard Floyd. I would not be opposed to bringing back Yannick for a second go-around. But even though I do have faith in the Vikings edge rushing room, especially knocking out all the wood if and when they keep Danielle Hunter, and hopefully Davenport will work out. depth is important. As we saw last year, defensive depth is extremely important, and just having guys who can get to the quarterback on their own steam or play within a scheme and just really attack the way that Brian Flores wants to do ain't never a bad thing. Absolutely not. But your thoughts are thoughts. 5 free agent edge rushers for the Vikings after moving on from Za'Darius Smith. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.